arrival. It's just more rhetoric. It's a Saturday morning here in Seoul. There are no tanks rolling down the streets. I think for the average South Korean who's been living with the North Korean threat for the last 6 decades, this is just more of the same but different. Bear in mind that the armistice that ended the Korean War never became a peace treaty. So in fact and on paper, North and South Korea have been at war for the last 6 decades, for the last 60 years. What is concerning is the level of rhetoric that's been coming out of North Korea for the last 3 weeks. Almost every day now they're announcing some additional measure. So that this is a concern. We're really not too sure what is going on in the minds of the people up in Pyongyang. We're not entirely clear if Kim Jong-un himself is really in charge or if he's being pushed around by his hardliners and his generals. But just to confirm that we're not really at war. There's no artillery firing across the border. There's no fighting taking place. So right now this is a war of words rather than weapons. The North Koreans aren't saying, if you do A, we'll do B. They're not asking for any bargaining. They're not asking for negotiations. They're just coming out with threat after threat after threat. What many people here think is that his position is not nearly as strong as perhaps many people had thought after the last year. He's only been in power for just slightly over a year. And so he is trying to unite the country behind him by creating this major external threat of saying that the Americans are about to attack us. South Koreans are on a war footing, and so this is all he's playing to the local gallery. But to be perfectly honest, no one really knows.
Does North Korea, as it claims, really have the capability to attack the US?
Absolutely. The mainland US, not necessarily, but in terms of US troops in South Korea, in Japan, in Okinawa, possibly even in Guam, it's got short-range missiles which can hit pretty much anywhere in South Korea and certain parts of Japan. And more dangerously, perhaps, it's got the world's largest special operations forces, about 60,000 very, very highly motivated men who could be inserted by plane, by submarine, or covertly, to carry out all kinds of operations. And so they do have this capability. The question is whether they're actually going to use it or not. And thus far, in the current crisis, they haven't.
What do you think it will take then at the moment for this tension to ease somewhat? I mean, would there be a chance for any further dialogue, or is it just going to carry on like this indefinitely?
Well, I mean, as I said, I think people here are a little bit concerned at just how long this has been going on for. We've been since the UN sanctions were applied against the last nuclear missile tests, the North Koreans have just been creating as much tension as they possibly can almost every day. So the actual length of the current crisis is a concern. But in terms of what they've actually done, there's really nothing new. Threats to turn Seoul into a sea of fire, threats to tear up the Armistice Commission, cutting off military hotlines. This has all been done before, so it's the same on record. But where we go from here, I don't know. There are no negotiations underway. There are no negotiations planned. Perhaps by the end of the month, when the joint US and South Korean military exercises, which were held here every year, when they finish, perhaps things may calm down a little bit. But right now, there is no dialogue channel. There are no six-party talks or bilateral talks taking place. So it looks like we're in for more of the same but different for the foreseeable.